What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Dudes Who Bet Daily, August 13th, 2022, joined by our CFL expert here, Magic, trying to rebound from a tough loss, and Aaron, who regretted playing the Yankees in about the 9th inning last night, and maybe the 10th a little bit too, as Magic just drops off for no reason. Maybe the 10th a little bit too. Rough day yesterday on the sports side, as Jared looked like having a winner with the Eagles too, and they just fell apart twice.
That was torture yesterday watching those games. So, as everybody knows, I'm in New York, and so the Jets were playing the Eagles, and that game was on television. So I watched the second half of it. Of course, the Eagles get out to a 14-0 lead, lose the lead, come back and score with like a minute and change left to take the lead, and we're like, wow, he's going to cash that. Man, he got lucky there, you know. Jets run the kickoff back to midfield and then go score in like 5 plays. That was awful. Then, I'm in New York. I was watching the Yankees in Boston. And, the Yankees blow a save in the bottom of the ninth. Their closer right now can't get anybody out. He can't throw a strike.
That's a bad thing, right? You want to get people out if you're the closer?
Yeah. So it was awful. I went to bed pissed off last night.
Magic, you're down there rocking your Big D energy, your Beverly D energy with your jersey there.
It's Big Beverly D Day. Let's go. I'm excited. No, listen, I don't want to talk about Churchill that much, but the Arlington Million is an exciting race, at least from a betting perspective. Though it did get interesting. You told me before we went on air that Mega City scratched. And if that's the case, that opens things up from a pace perspective. So watch out for Smooth Like Straight. Maybe he can get his first win in over a year.
Well, that's a great transition because we got a lot to talk about today. So we're going to dive right into the races so we can cover some of the big stakes races. None of us going to a big stakes race today for the best bets. So that's a little bit interesting. We've seen that as a trend, especially from Jared. He's going to Del Mar with a different horse there. But let's kick it off with the Arlington Million over at Churchill Downs, which still seems really funny to say and kind of sucks because I miss Arlington myself. What do we like here in the Million? Magic brings up a great point. Mega City out, Smooth Like Straight now becomes the controlling speed. But as Magic mentioned to me before we went on here, Smooth Like Straight, it's been a minute since this horse won. Actually, it's been since May 31st, 2021 since this horse was able to get the job done. Aaron, you think Smooth Like Straight flips that trend today?
He's one of those horses that it's kind of interesting, right? Because, yes, I hope he wins. I love this horse, but for my betting, I kind of hope he doesn't win. Because I think you just have to go against him until he proves he can do it when he's the favorite. And it's really one of those situations where it's not a knock on the horse. It's just the facts. Yeah, we've lost to some really, really good horses. Last time out, we lost to a horse we definitely should beat. So is this a situation where Smooth Like Straight is starting to kind of regress a little bit? And even if he's not, he's away from Santa Anita, he's away from Del Mar, and he's the favorite. Sure, he could get out to the lead, but I think somebody will catch him. So I went with number 1 Set Piece on top. I'm rooting like hell for Smooth Like Straight. I think he's a cool horse, but he's hard to bet as a favorite in here.
Yeah, I don't hate Set Piece in this spot either. I wish Mega City stayed in the race because I think that would have made Smooth Like Straight a lot more vulnerable than what you're going to see here today. It's going to be tough to run down Smooth Like Straight if he's able to get loose at a 1 1/8. And he has had success over this course and the 1 1/8 distance. So I'm not as concerned about that. If you go back and watch Set Piece last race, I mean, just worlds of trouble in the Forbidden Apple. I mean, worlds of trouble. And we know how you feel about Florent Giroux over there, Aaron. Do you think we're going to get a better trip here today for Set Piece?
Well, I don't think we're going to get a worse trip.
It'd be hard to get a worse one.
I couldn't guarantee a better one though, but I don't think it's going to get worse.
We'll see what Florent is able to come up with down there. All right, so that's what we're talking about there from Churchill Downs in the mile. Magic, who's your official pick there?
Arlington Million, Santine.
You're going Santine. All right, I'm going to stick with Smooth Like Straight. Aaron heading over to Set Piece. All 3 of them I think are pretty logical. I would be shocked if we see a massive upset in that spot. Let's head over to Del Mar here, talk a little bit about the grade 2 yellow ribbon, going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. I thought this was a little bit interesting. You have Going Global as your 6-5 favorite. But man, those last 2 races don't exactly make you really confident that you can fire at this horse at 6-5. Magic, you're our California boy. What'd you think of Going Global here?
I think that she's going to be able to get. I mean, she loves Del Mar. She's 2 for 3 over the course and has a second by a half length going a mile. So she's good at 1 1/8. She's good at 1 1/16. I love this horse. It's hard to play against her with who she's facing. If she was facing some other outside horses, I know Flippant's in here for Vicky Oliver, but Phil D'Amato was just absolutely destroying it on the turf at Santa Anita all during their meet in the summertime. I think he keeps it going here. It's hard for me to play against him on top.
Aaron, you going to take a shot?
Going global for me. No, I did not take a shot in here. I did sprinkle in the 5 Park Avenue a little bit. I know Jared liked that horse as well on the Bleakers Off show that we did. But, with Park Avenue, we're trying stakes for the first time, and it'd be a real good spot. But then you got going global, and I think Magic hit on it. This horse runs really, really well at Del Mar. That race last time out, it was a grade 1, and she should have won, but maybe the 1 1/8 was just a touch too far. That's what I'm going with there for this one. Even though she'd wanted the distance before, she just kind of flattened a little bit. Now we're back at 1 1/16. I think it's right in her wheelhouse. I think she's going to be tough here.
I'm going to go with Park Avenue. I like the 5 in this spot. I thought Park Avenue showed a lot of heart first time on the turf down at Lone Star, digging in and be able to re-rally to win that race. She should get a decent pace set up here. I don't think she absolutely has to be on the lead, but she will definitely be close to it, if not on it. And again, we've only been on the turf twice here for Park Avenue. This is a quality road out of an Indian Charlie mare. The horse should be a turf horse, not a dirt horse. So I was surprised it took this long to get to the turf. And I thought that last effort specifically was wonderful. And, I look at Byers. I don't love the regression we've seen the last 2 from Going Global, where she's dropped back down to the low 90s. And I'm a little worried at 6-5 that I just don't want a horse that's struggling at that, or not struggling, but is regressed a little bit in this season. So that's one of my main reasons I'm going against Going Global. Aaron,
what about the 4? Can we talk about the 4 real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. Tell us about the 4, Magic.
So George Papa Pajama was he took over a bunch of Baltus horses when Baltus got kicked out of California. He's been on fire. I mean, he's almost 50% on the board with this horse. Is 20 for 43 with 7 winners. He's doing excellent at Del Mar. Hector Berrios is riding. I know we talk about him a lot. The dude's 7 for 25 at the meet right now. He's riding his ass off, and specifically, he's getting a lot of praise for his ability to save ground and get great efforts from horses on the turf course. And I think if you see what she did last out in the Oceanitas, when Abel Cedillo took her back and she rallied, she showed she could do it. I don't know that she's good enough to win, but I think if you want to play a Park Avenue at 4-1, a Going Global at 6-5, put this horse in 2nd and 3rd underneath, because I think she's got a lot of ability, and these connections are just on fire. Papa Pajama's got 2 stakes wins at the meet. Berrios has 2 stakes wins, including a grade 1 at the meet. So these guys are getting ignored still at 12-1. Watch out for this horse.
Second off the layoff later in the 5-year-old season, logical spot for improvement, and it is the clear choice to sit 2nd behind Park Avenue as well. Yeah. So if you think Park Avenue is going to struggle at all, turning for home, this is the horse that's getting first run. Barrios should be able to save quite a bit of ground. I expect you just sit right behind Park Avenue. Let Park Avenue go as slow as you want. You get first shot at Park Avenue, and you're hoping that you're good enough coming down the lane. Aaron, any interest here in the 5 Rockin' Red or 4 Rockin' Redhead? Great name, by the way.
Yeah, I think you kind of said it, but I do think if you like the 4, you kind of have to like the 1 a little bit. The 1 did beat the 4 last time out, but Magic kind of hit it. Old Berrios Hector there, he's getting the job done. And this trainer out of nowhere, all of a sudden, these horses are running really, really well. So I know he's knocked me out of a couple at huge prices this meet. So
yeah.
I don't hate, look, the 3 horses the 2 horses we talked about specifically here, the 4 and the 5, Rockin' Redhead and Park Avenue. And you mentioned the 1, Avenue de France, who also ran right behind Park Avenue in that race at Lone Star. If you like Going Global, I don't hate the idea of playing a $5 super. Throw Going Global over those 3 horses, because I think they are the next logical 3. Flippant's the other one I'd be a little bit worried about, but I would take those 3 over Flippant in that spot. You might be able to get a little bit of a juiced up superfecta there if you're able to get that 4 horse home in 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either. I mean, that's who I definitely would play underneath. You just got to hope that the 4 gets up there and spices it up.
All right, let's head out east now. Saratoga Race Course. Let's talk a little bit about the Grade 1 Fourstardave. We're going 1 mile on the turf. Fourstardave, one of the coolest horses out there. I think it was 7 or 8 years in a row, won at Saratoga. This horse was an absolute superstar there. We got a bobblehead of Fourstardave that they put out a few years back. So this is one of those horses that if you haven't watched the races from Saratoga, Fourstardave is one of those that really became legitimately a superstar. When he retired, they gave him a standing ovation in the grandstand when he was just walking on the track after they announced he would not be back at Saratoga. So just a really, really cool horse. We've got a 5-horse field here, not the deepest field from a horse count perspective, but from a talent perspective, 3 absolute superstars coming out here. It's got to start with the mare Regal Glory, right, Aaron?
Yep, I couldn't go against her in this spot, and this is a spot where fillies or mares have won this race several times recently. So really not out of the ordinary. And you can think about the Breeders' Cup. Fillies have been competing in the 1 mile turf division for a while. So I think she's going to be awfully tough to beat here, guys. I mean, this horse has just been fantastic all year long. And even before that was really, really good. She's just in her sweet spot right now, right? I mean, she's not just winning; she's absolutely dominating fields. That race last time out at a mile and just a game, it was a hell of a race, and it's weird to say, well, all you got to do is repeat that, because it was really good, but all you got to do is repeat that, and I think she's better than the rest of them if she does.
Yeah, I mean, the last 5 races have been phenomenal. 4 grade 1 to grade 3, 4 wins and 1 second place in those starts. Brown's got another in here, though, Magic. He's got Mason in here as well. Do you have any interest in the other Brown in this spot? Do you think Mason's going to be able to step up? This is quite a big step up in class here for him.
Yeah, not only that, but if you look at who he's been beating in the last, I mean, his North American debut, impressive. What?
Don't you slander Wolfie's Dyna Ghost.
Listen, Wolfie's Dyna Ghost is fine. He got second and third. He got third in a 3-horse race. That's really great for Wolfie's Dyna Ghost. Did that 2 back. Listen, Mason beat 2 horses in the Seek again. He beat 4 horses that are okay in the poker, but none of them hold a freaking candle to who he's facing in Regal Glory. That Maker's Mark Mile, effort was great, and he's kind of regressed since then. We haven't really seen him look, as strong with that kind of a fight. He hasn't had a chance to. So, you could play the chance that, now he's facing these elite grade 1 horses again for the second time. It didn't work out so well that first time for him.
And we also got Casa Creed in the race here for the Bill Mott Barn. This horse has run 3 times at Saratoga, 1 win and 2 thirds. Both of those thirds actually in the 4-Stardave the last 2 years, both getting over 100 buyer on those days. So you gotta love some Casa Creed here as well. One of my favorite horses, one of the Magic Mike Show's favorite horses. I think is actually, we mentioned it, the horse we've talked about the most on the Magic Mike Show, and it's about 400 episodes. Aaron, does Casa Creed have a prayer today of getting the job done here in the 4-Stardave in his 3rd effort?
I think he has a prayer. Yeah, I do. I don't think he's too big of a long shot at all. I would play Casa Creed over Mason. Honestly, I think Casa Creed, well, number one, you're going to get a little bit better price. At least I think we're going to. The odds have kind of surprised me at times, but I think you're going to get a better price. You guys talked about it. Mason coming out of races that were just awful, just pathetic. These horses have come back and done nothing that he beat in those starts. I think only one of them has even come back to hit the board. And it was Public Sector, and Public Sector sucks. Like, he has been awful. He was awful last week as well. So, yeah, I think Casa Creed, it makes a ton of sense. I mean, I think we've seen that he is better going 6 furlongs, but there's no real place to run him. Like, would you go up against 6 furlongs in a grade 3 against Golden Powell? Probably not. You want to go here in a grade 1. We know he can run a mile. Maybe it's not his best distance. He got 3rd here last year. Weirdly enough, got Stormy, a filly or mare, won the race. And Set Piece, a horse we just talked about, was 2nd. So either one are here. Now Regal Glory replaces got Stormy. But yeah, I think Casa Creed gets up for 2nd. That's what I think is going to happen here.
I think Casa Creed gets the lead top of the stretch, and you'll see Regal Glory run him down. I think that 3-1 exact is a pretty good play here, especially if you can get Mason out of it. See if you can get Casa Creed in there at a little bit of a price. Real quick, Aaron, what do you think Regal Glory goes off at?
Funny, we've been debating this in the group chat. I think 4 to 5, but you think much lower.
I will give you 4 to 5 and up. I'll take 3 to 5 and lower for a bottle of Casa Amigos. What do you say, my friend?
I'm not doing it.
Come on.
I'm not doing it because I'm terrible at picking these odds this year at Saratoga. I'm wrong every time.
I think this horse is going off at 1 to 2. I think Regal Glory is going to take a ton. I don't see anyone not picking Regal Glory. I think this horse is getting absolutely hammered today. I'd be surprised if 4 to 5 or even money is a steal. But I don't think we're going to be that fortunate. So, all right, let's jump into the best bets of the day here. We'll kick it off with 2 gentlemen who didn't feel like showing up for the show. First off, Papa Dude, going back to the Cardinals. I think that I made the joke 2 days ago that he plays the Cardinals every day, and of course he plays the Cardinals today. Taking the plus 120 number. Aaron, did he give you any insight on why he likes the Cardinals?
He just doesn't really understand why they're the plus team today, and so that's why he said, hey, they're at home, they're playing really well, the Brewers are not playing well. Yes, the Brewers have a good pitcher going, but the Cardinals do too, especially at home. Wainwright usually shows up with a really good game. And he just thinks it's an even matchup. The Cardinals are plus money, and let's go with it. The Cardinals right now are ahead in that division. A lot of people were not happy with the general manager for not making moves in St. Louis at the deadline, but since the deadline, they've absolutely crushed it. So, we're gonna say a Cardinals plus 120. Papa Dude is, he's excited about this one. He had some dog baseball games last week that came in, so he's gonna try it today and see what happens.
I like it. Hopefully, we can get that nice plus 120 price home. Start the day out with a nice dog victory there. Jared heading out to Del Mar here. He's going to go to race number 3 after a tough beat in the what was it? He said after a tough beat in the preseason, you got to just go with Baffert, and so that's where he's headed here. Race number 3 at Del Mar, the 5-horse Rhetoric. This is an interesting one. We didn't see this horse for a while. Lost to Forbidden Kingdom first time out. Returned to the races on July 9th at Los Alamitos. Absolutely destroys the field, getting an 86 buyer to break its maiden. Hernandez takes them out for Baffert. This is a $600,000 son of Quality Road for SF Racing, Starlight Racing, and Madacat Stable. So those guys generally do pretty well, especially with Baffert. Magic, any buzz on Rhetoric here coming in today at Del Mar?
It's a Baffert with a horse that's been tearing it up on the track. He was been working with Murray, if you remember who that horse was, which kind of like you can combine with Rhetoric, was at one point, hey, maybe this could be a Derby Trail horse, and didn't really pan out. The workouts aren't jumping completely off the page if you look at like the DRF Clocker reports, but it's Baffert when John White puts this horse at 9-5 in a race like that, it's probably got a good chance to win. Baffert's been just rock solid at Del Mar, as you would expect him to be.
Yeah, this is an interesting race to me. I kind of like the 3 a little bit. I kind of like the 4 a little bit. But, man, if that 5 is able to improve it all, if Rhetoric's able to improve it all off that Los Alamitos race, watch out. And we talked about yesterday Los Alamitos form not always transitioning over to Del Mar. With Baffert, that's really not been an issue. So this is one of those spots where I think you're going to get 9-5 because there's a couple other horses to bet in here. But I think Rhetoric could be awfully tough. Aaron, did you look at this one? Did you take do you have Rhetoric on top?
I do have Rhetoric on top. I'm a little worried that he's going to take a lot of money, but he probably should, right? He definitely looked good in return, and I think the number 1 Crash Corrigan could kind of upset in here. That's the one I'm a little bit worried about, but I'm kind of with Jared on this. I would be definitely not shocked, but I would be pretty surprised if Rhetoric didn't run really well here and get a win.
All right, let's head up north here. Magic trying to get back on the winner's side of that CFL game. A tough loss last time out. You didn't even respond to text for over 12 hours after that heartbreaking defeat. Tell us a little about why you like Saskatchewan today.
I know. I'm sorry. I should apologize to you guys publicly for having a life outside our text chain. Listen, the Winnipeg game, it was pretty rough. I found out afterwards they were going for history for trying to start the season 10-0. I was like, well, that's probably not a good sign for the way my games usually go. Here we go with the team, Saskatchewan Roughriders, that I've been struggling to get on the right side of, but I'm pretty confident in tonight. They had 3 straight losses, and then they had a bye week. We're at week 10. This is almost halfway. There's 21 weeks in the CFL season. We got 2 teams, one with hopes of still making the playoffs. Saskatchewan Roughriders, you can still get at 5-1 to win the Grey Cup. And then you have the Edmonton Elks, who are 15-1 and who've pretty much given up, and we're halfway through the year. So now you have Saskatchewan it's coming off a bye, trying to right the ship, and they're going into a town to play a team that's already given up, and they've quit halfway through the season. I got the line at -5.5 this morning when I texted Mike. It's already -7. So the line has been flooding towards Saskatchewan, so I'm feeling confident the way this is going to be going here. I just wish that, if we had the show an hour earlier, I could have gotten everybody to get it at 5.5. But still, Saskatchewan even -7, I think. Don't take it higher than that, but with the touchdown, I think there's still a good play here.
Can you tease games, CFL games?
I tried and it wouldn't let me.
Okay, just wondering. I'm not sure if you can get those teasers going there. We got a lot of NFL preseason action. I don't like anything today, so we're not going to talk very much about that. Magic headed back north, taking Saskatchewan, the Rough Riders, -5.5 there. Rough Riders over Elks. I mean, that's just an easy choice from a mascot perspective. You don't have to worry about that one. All right, let's head over to Saratoga. I'm going to kick this puppy off. If I can find my best bet, there it is. We're going to race number 9 today. We were fortunate. Glad to hear that Joseph cashed in yesterday. Had a nice 5-2 winner at Saratoga. Going to try and keep it going here with this one. This is a first-time starter. This is one of those spots where every now and then I love some of these early horses. This one's called Unlimited Potential for Todd Pletcher out of the Napoleon St. Elias stable. This is a Union Rags, Sonny Union Rags, who sold for $750,000. I believe this is the most a Union Rags horse has ever sold for. This horse is working its skin off in the morning right now. And if you need more than that, IRAD takes them out for Pletcher in a race where Klarovich and Chad Brown have a $200,000 son of Gunrunner in the same race. So that tells you right away, this is a very, very live horse. if you're on fixed odds, if you have anywhere that is offering fixed odds, you can get this entry at 3-1. Book it right now. I will be happy to get 6-5 on this entry. I think that this is that much of a standout in this spot. So give me the number 1 horse, first time starter, unlimited potential at Saratoga in race number 9. Magic, I know you use this horse on our podcast for late pick 5. You can check that out over at racingdudes.com or watch the replay here on the YouTube page. Aaron, did you have the entry on top in this spot?
Good pick. Good pick. I like that pick a lot. I saw the same thing you did. The horse is working out extremely well. And you know what? The 1A is working out extremely well as well. Now, obviously, you assume that since IRAD is on the plain 1, that this is the one to beat. But it's not bad to have a little bit of a backup there, right? So I agree. I think it's a race that these two are going to get bet down, and that's all right. I just feel like they're going to be really tough to beat. There's just not a lot in this field that gets you real excited. The Chad Brown horse that you mentioned, he wasn't bad. He'll probably improve, but I don't think if a first-time starter can run, I think that they can beat the 4. The only kind of pause is it's like, yeah, Pletcher with a 3-year-old first-timer, you don't see that often, right? Usually they get them out there early. So this one obviously had some issues, had some struggles, problems, whatever. Yeah, I mean, if he runs to the works, and I'm not a big workout guy, but I mean, when you're looking at first-time starters, that's what you got to look at. And it seems like the horse is fast. Let's hope he gets out of the gate and can make a good positioning early, and I think it's over if he does.
Yeah, that's the one concern. Obviously, you don't love first-time starters breaking from the rail, but I'm hoping that we've got that early turn of foot, and I can get him out of that gate and get him in a good position. And the 1A is a little bit of a backup. I don't hate this is one of the few times they may actually bet to place. I'm not a big place better person. I generally will only bet to win because you dilute your value in the play spot. But if this runs 1-1A, you may actually get more to place than to win. So yep. I may play a little bit of place money as well, depending on what percentage of the pool the ones are covering in that place pool. All right, Aaron, we could play a double with our horses here. You're going to go one race earlier. I have this horse on top, but man, I do not trust this one at all. But tell us a little about why you like the number 1 portfolio company here in the 8th.
So Somich, snake eyes, the 1 and the 1, little snake eye doubles, what we'll call that one. Look, here's the deal. I get it. It's like, yeah, I don't trust this horse all that much, but who do you trust in this race? This race is not good, right? I mean, do I like Golf Heart better than this horse? Yeah, but he's going to be below the price threshold. Regal Glory, sure, below the price threshold. This is the next one for me. Look, Portfolio Company was pretty good last season, almost beat Annapolis, ran second to Cornage, a really good horse, was able to win here on debut, and then went to the Breeders' Cup and just wasn't great, but was 4-1 in that race. Comes back this year. First race was at Churchill. Whatever, forget about that. The last race was not great at Monmouth. The horse was 6-5, got beat, but you know what? Fort Washington is a better horse than what we have in this spot. I think Quality G is a better horse than what we have in the spot. It was more of a, man, I don't really know who's going to beat him today as he drops down in class from stakes to an allowance. He's finally in a logical spot. I think he gets a nice pocket trip, knock on wood, from Joel Rosario today. I think he gets it done. I think he's just a better, more talented horse than the rest of these that have entered here. So I think 2-1, it might be not like 8-5 maybe is what we get, right? Like, I don't think we're going to 2-1, but I do think you'll get a decent price on him.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot. I mean, I agree with you. This is just much, much softer. You got 3 horses to his outside that all want to go, so he should sit a good trip here because you have that speed right to the outside. I think I wouldn't be shocked if the 8 horse 023. Okay, give me a sec. I got to actually look at this. 02035. 035. Who ran 4th in that race against Portfolio Company last time, where Portfolio Company ran 3rd. I wouldn't be shocked if this is the 1-8 coming across in 1st and 2nd today, and that race proves to have the best 2 horses coming out of it.
Yeah, I thought that one had a shot. I thought the 11 kind of had a little bit of a look as well, but it's a tough post. So that's the other thing. It's like, yeah, the 11 is okay. The 10's okay. Both of them are in tough spots where the 1 should save all the ground. And as long as he gets an opening to run through, he just seems like he's going to be finishing pretty strong. So, again, if there was another horse in here that I thought was decent, I may have went somewhere else, but I just don't think there's much in this race.
Yep. I mean, I don't disagree with you there. All right. So we're already a little bit over here. We got a huge day of racing over at racingdudes.com. Make sure you check out the premium products. You got the Rockets, you got the Somobombs, you got the Daily Day Pass. It's a big day from Churchill, from Del Mar, from Saratoga. And Gulfstream just drops the little mandatory pick six bomb on us. Randomly, like, just, hey, look at me, guys. I'm still here. Trying to get everyone to pay attention to their $2 million pick six pool. So I got to go look at Gulfstream now because I had not looked at that at all yet today. So we'll have to take a peek at that one as well. But thanks, everyone, for joining us. Let's review the bets real quick here. Got 5 of them today. Papa Dude, he's going to go ahead and play the Cardinals at plus 120. Aaron going to Saratoga, race number 8, taking the number 1 horse portfolio company, 2-1 on the morning line. Magic headed up north again to Saskatchewan, taking the Rough Riders minus 5.5. Jared headed to Del Mar, race number 3, number 5 Rhetoric, 9-5 morning line there. And I'm going to go to race number 9 at Saratoga, take the first time starter, the number 1 Unlimited Potential at 3-1. We were 1-2 yesterday, but actually made a little bit of money because it's nice when you get those 5-2 shots home. It could have been a great day too, man. It almost was 3-0 there, but just couldn't hold on. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow noon with our best bets from Saratoga, Del Mar, and around the sports world. Good luck, everyone. Have a day.